veteran Nollywood actor and broadcaster Patrick Doyle says fame holds no value to him as he lives a life grounded in simplicity and personal integrity. In a recent interview, the respected thespian dismissed the popularity that comes with stardom, stating that his sense of identity and self-worth has never been tied to public validation or celebrity status. I don't live like a star. I don't live like a celebrity. That's all I'm going to tell you. It doesn't mean anything to me. The very nature of my antecedent on my paternal side and my maternal side is royalty. I don't need any validation from anyone. As I said, I am very arrogant in my head. I know exactly who I am. So all the other things that make people get excited don't excite me, because in my head I am too much. Doyle, known for his decade-long contribution to Nigerian cinema and television, and his opinionated nature, went on to criticize the consumerism and image-focused lifestyle that many celebrities adopt. The type of car that I drive, if you escort me out and you see my car, you will see what I mean. And that's because all it does for me is to carry me from point A to point B. I'm not going to kill myself to buy the latest Range Rover. When they do that, that's when they become incorrupt, unscrupulous. I beg your pardon. When they do that, that's when they become unscrupulous. That's when they take on jobs that they have no intentions of doing, getting a deposit for the job and taking off, and they do all kinds of things. I don't need to have a Louis Vuitton bag. I don't need a Gucci suit, and I'm not the worst dressed person in Nigeria either. Now, I'll come to you first off, Edidion. What's your take generally on this story?
Well, it's good to not tie your self-worth to external stuff and external validation. You know, if you do so, anything external is not something that can be controlled by you. So if you're talking about fame is going to fade one day. You know, if you're talking about other stuff, the lifestyle is going to fade one day.
Yeah.
And if they fade, it means that you're going to live in depression for the rest of your life. So your self-worth should be tied to the investments you make in yourself. You know, the fact that you can invest in yourself, put back into yourself, have deep introspective thoughts process, have values, and start by principles. These are things that should make you as a human, not things like fame or the lifestyle. These are good stuff. You know, there are people that like fame. I don't like too much fame. I told myself one time that I don't want that kind of fame that Davido has, where if he's passing here, everybody's like, Davido. No. You understand? But there are people that love it. They live for the showbiz, you understand? But the problem is now tying your self-worth to those things. And people look at fame, but the other things that a lot of people tie themselves to, their likes, social media likes and comments. You know, you post something and you don't get enough likes, you don't get enough attention on that maybe post, and then you start feeling bad. You know, these are things that cannot be controlled by you, and they should not define you. So what he's saying is perfectly right. And talking about the lifestyle, it depends on the kind of person you want to be. For instance, if I have money, I'm going to buy the latest cars, I'm going to buy good cars and good stuff. But my worth is not going to be dependent on those stuff.
Your worth is not going to be dependent on material things. Let me come to you, Miriam. What's your thoughts on this matter? Now, do you think Patrick Doyle could say this because he's already a celebrity, he's already a known figure? If he was not a known figure, would he have come out to say these things?
Personally, I don't know his lifestyle. I don't know him that much. But for a country where celebrity and social media validation is the talk of the day, for him to say that no, he will not allow his social lifestyle to define him, I think that's very commendable. Yeah.
Well, she thinks that's very commendable, and I'll come to you now. If Patrick was a normal person that has no attention to him now, he doesn't. Okay, he probably doesn't have that kind of. He probably doesn't drag that kind of attention that Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy drags. If he comes out to say such a thing as a public figure, do you think he's chasing clouds? Because a lot of people think, okay, he's just trying to remain relevant. He's chasing clouds. Yes, people, a lot of people, he said it here. He said, and I quote, that he is an arrogant person. And a lot of people have also affirmed that, okay, this guy is actually, with the way he talks and all that, and he comes to say, okay, these things don't mean anything to me. Make it make sense.
I don't think he's chasing clouds. It was a question that was asked, so, and he responded. If maybe out of the blues, nobody asked and he just said it, and then we can say he's chasing clouds. But he's responding to a question.
Yeah, that was being asked.
Yeah, there's no form of clouds there.
And you think he made that statement because he made the statement because he's a celebrity? What if he was not a celebrity? Would he have made that statement?
The question wouldn't have been asked if he wasn't a celebrity.
Yeah.
So it was asked because he was a celebrity, and it's a topic for a whole lot of celebrities, because there are a lot of celebrities that fall into depression. I've read stories. I've read Eva Lodia's story. If you know Eva Lodia, she used to be one of the top female rappers. I've read, today I was watching Cynthia Morgan. You know, Cynthia Morgan, when Cynthia Morgan was Cynthia Morgan, there was no her styling, her music was different. In fact, till today, there's nobody that can replace her. But she was crying on that video because she tied a lot of stuff, you know, to do. So there are a lot of people that get into depression. There's this guy, Solid Star, if you know Solid Star. There are a whole lot of them. So it's a big topic that we need to look into, you know.
Yeah. Now, fame and fortune is like a driving force to a whole lot of people.
Yes.
I want to. There's even a song I say, when I become rich and famous, all these places will know who I am because I'll be a superstar. I think that's Bez. I think
it's not Bez.
Is it Bez or
it's Praise?
Praise. It's Praise. Yes, not Bez. It's Praise. Now, that song is like the reality of a whole chunk of young people. Now you see young ones, they want to make it. They want to become rich and famous. They want to get good stuff for themselves. Whereas those things are not bad. They are the things that drive young ones. Yes. Me now, I want to get a Lamborghini. I want to get a private jet for myself. I want to buy that Gucci shoe. Okay, let it be that I might not be buying it to show off, but let me have it. Yeah, so this is like a drive to a whole lot of people.
It is.
Is that such a wrong
the drive is a good thing. The drive is a good thing. I tell people, if you see anybody that is faking it, that doesn't have something but he's faking it, he's going to have that thing. The fact that he's faking it means that he's being driven. You know, he's wishing to have it, and he's definitely going to have it. You know, but in life, there's something called growth. There's something called growth. As you begin to grow and achieve these things, you discover that these are not the things that make you, you know. When I was younger, I used to like being famous. I wanted to be famous, you know. But I now sat down, growth happened, and I'm like, this is not what I want. For a lot of us, we want those things because other people have it. We just want to feel among, we just want to be the life of the party and all of that. But as growth happens, you discover that these are not the things that make you, and maybe you just surpass those phases. We could see it in most celebrity lifestyle. If you look at most big celebrities, they'll tell you that they haven't tired of going out nowadays because they have seen everything that they are supposed to see. Growth has happened. Wizkid was saying the other day that he doesn't really like going out. He prefers spending time with family. This is somebody that used to be in almost every party, you understand? So as time goes on, growth happens, as there's nothing wrong if at the beginning you desire these things will actually push you, but when you actually get them, you now tell yourself, Omo, nothing there.
Yes, when you finally get there, you now see that, okay, there is nothing there. Now, do you think chasing all these things are wrong?
No.
What's your biggest dream as a young person and as a young writer?
Okay. I want the world to see my work and appreciate me, not because I am a celebrity, but for who I am. Yeah, so I want the world to see me and appreciate my work. And also, having money, fame, and all is not bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but we should not let material things define us. Is that I don't know if you're getting my point. So yeah, it's not bad to say I want to have money, I want to drive cars, but don't let those things define who you are.
When you say don't let those things define who you are, can you expatiate or elaborate?
Like most of our celebrities that we know, most of them are living fake life, but they'll come on the internet and post some sort of things, but that's not who they are.
Yeah, but Edidion here made a point. He said if you see somebody fake a thing, in no long time, that person would get it. I would like to
If you put in the work,
I would like to hear your take on that particular thing, because I heard that and it felt like I did not hear it, but it kept resounding in my head, and I want to hear what you think about it.
That would be what are the things you're faking? Are they valuable things? Are they things that later in the future you'll be like, oh yes, I was faking this thing, but now I have them. Now I have them to myself. I can proudly say that yes, back then I had none of this, but now I have them. Are those things can you be proud to say them that you have them? I was like, yeah. So.
Well, if you don't say fake it till you make it, and you put in the work, actually, here.
Yes,
had to emphasize that part. To final advice to young ones on this particular topic, on chasing their dreams and getting the bag and getting famous.
Well, everything starts with a vision. You know, if you work and you don't have vision, you're just daydreaming or you're wasting your time. Everything starts with a vision. I feel that the reason why a lot of hardworking people are poor is because they didn't tie vision to their hard work. You know, I tell people, if you imagine something, you're going to see it. It's not motivational talk. If you imagine something, you're going to have it. It's not motivation. This is something that is real, that I've experienced. Even God told Abraham that should look at the sky and count the stars. What he was trying to do was to enable him envision himself, you know, in that light. So it's a long-standing principle that if you have vision, you're going to achieve it. You understand? But if there is no vision, no matter how, there are a lot of hardworking poor people that didn't achieve their dreams. Vision pushes you to do what you're supposed to do. You know, so vision is the most important thing every young person needs to have. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? At 20, where do you want to be? At 30, where do you want to be? You understand? You don't just live life like animals. You just wake up today, you live for today, you sleep, you eat, you wake the next day again, you eat, sleep, eat, you know. No.